Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 ABSA Keep Keino Classic Athletes Press Conference. We're just a few hours away to the main event, and just to break ice, because jitters are setting in now, we have 3 athletes that will be competing tomorrow. Just to break ice, get their sentiments on what they expect tomorrow and what we should expect from them as well. My name is Hilary Nekia from the Nation Media Group, and I'll be moderating today's event. Now, at this stage, you might have heard that one of the stars that was supposed to grace the event, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, is out of the Keep Keino Classic. And you'll allow me to read a statement from Shelly-Ann. And I quote, "I am deeply disappointed to share that I will not be competing at the Keep Keino Classic. I was truly looking forward to kick off my season at one of the greatest athletic events in East Africa. I love coming to Nairobi and seeing my fans and the people here, and there's an unspoken energy that you can't find anywhere else. Kenya was the beginning of something great last year, and I'm really disappointed in not being able to run here. I have always gotten so much love here, and I know so much work went into the preparations. Thank you all for your continued support. I wish all those competing the best of luck. See everyone soon on the track." End of quote, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce left the country last night and won't be competing at this year's event. Nonetheless, we still have a showstopper. Ferdinand Manyala is here.
Yeah, I got you covered.
Wojciech is here. Yaroslava is here. And of course, the legend, you just gracing the event, John Carlos. I'd like us to start right away. Ferdinand Manyala, now that you're sitting on the farthest end, you are fresh from the Atlanta City Games, competed in the 150 meters race for the first time. Why 150 meters? What is the motivation?
First of all, it's like an exhibition race, and I thought I chose to do 150 because I've done like more than 300 meters starting the year, and it was more or less like just testing the speed and just to see how it goes. And you can tell that by 1:30 I was still leading, so that means my 100 meters still secure. But it was a great race, and it was a good preparation for this that's happening tomorrow, and of course the World Championships coming in 3 months' time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At 100 meters, you almost look like you're slowing down. I know you're used to the 100 meters. Did you think, okay, this is done, and then you realize, oh, you're still supposed to do another 50?
I was almost dipping at 100, but I never realized I still have to run more 50 meters, but yeah, it is what it is.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, you were in the form of your life, would you say that?
Yeah, I'm in my peak years, and trust me when I tell you that I'm not going to lose any 100 meters this year, and nobody's going to beat me this year.
What would you call people who say you are cocky? Are you cocky or are you just confident?
No, I know what I've done. I've put in the work, and I know my body, and I know how I feel. Even when I'm walking, that's what I feel. So it's just about maintaining the form for the next 3 or 4 months, and making sure that the goal remains the goal, and yeah, breaking the records and winning the world champs and breaking the record again tomorrow. So that's what it is.
Fantastic. Yeah. Commonwealth gold is in the bag. World Championships in Budapest this year. What are the plans? What are we looking forward to?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not losing any 100 meters this year. So I'm going into the Diamond Leagues, just like want to see where the guys are, and just the main thing is to control every 100-meter race that I'm running this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned the Diamond League, the latest news in town is that we have a showstopper in Rabat. Best of the best in the world. We're talking Fred Kali, Marcel Jacobs is there, Akani Simbine is there, Letsile Tebogo is there. You are there as well. This is a rich field. Fred Kali comes in as the world champion, Marcel Jacobs as one of the Olympics. What should we expect? How do you intend to tackle this field?
You forget that I've beaten everybody in that field. Yeah? Yeah. And, you know, getting to Rabat, this is my second Diamond League I'm doing, and I'm confident we're winning that one, and maybe we're breaking the record we're going to set tomorrow.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, coming closer home, Keep Keino Classic. You set the African record here in 2021, 9.77. Yeah. I spoke to you about 2 days ago, and you were saying a new record might be coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has stayed for too long, I think. It needs to be broken. So we just pray that tomorrow all the conditions are well and get a good start. Mm-hmm. That's it.
What would you say are the good conditions? Is it the fans? Is it the weather? What is it for you?
I know the fans won't disappoint. they've always been there for me, and they've always just come out. I just hope that tomorrow we fill the stadium to capacity. Anytime, when I get that field tomorrow and I just see no empty seats, that will be a very good drive for me. And also, conditions, natural conditions we can't control, but we pray to God to make it, still and everything just to be fine. Warm, and no rains, and everything else will fall in place.
Fantastic. Because there's a show we run on NTV on Monday night, Sport On, and we ask, who are you looking forward to see at the 2023 ABSA Keino Classic? And one of the names that kept coming up was you. So pretty much most Kenyans will be coming to the stadium tomorrow will be looking forward to see you among other athletes. A message to them now that you're live on TV.
Why I promise, I always promise and deliver. And I'm very, very confident with this one tomorrow. And just asking them to come out in large numbers and to come and experience something maybe they'll never see again in their lives. So I promise a show, and I'll give a show tomorrow.
Fantastic. We expect a sizzling show from you.
Of course.
You stole the show last year. Let's move on to Wojciech Nowicki. You were here last year. Thank you for coming back again. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Last year was good for you. You went on to win silver at the World Championships. What is the plan this year?
Hello, everyone. The main goal is, of course, World Championship in Budapest. This start, for me, it's a small test, how it looks like after hard work in winter. So we'll see tomorrow. I hope the weather will be very good like last year, and my throw will be far. I try to do this.
You threw an impressive 81.43 last year. Did this set the pace for subsequent races, events after that?
Yeah, last year I wasn't expected that I throw very far, because I think it was too soon to throw like this score. But I think tomorrow I try to do the same. The most important thing for me is to throw very good in technical way, because this is important in this year to prepare for World Championship. Fantastic.
But you threw 82 at the European Championships in Germany. Talk to us about that.
It was a little surprise for me, because it was at the end of my shape, good shape. So I didn't expect that, and I'm happy for this result. But that day I felt very good. The weather was very good for me. Expected that was rainy, but I feel very, very good, and I try to do like I said, I'm in my best way. So it was good throwing, and 82 was a cause of good throwing in a technical way.
Yeah, I mean, you've come to Kenya at the beginning of your season last year, this year as well. Do you feel like starting your season, or the beginning stages of your season in Nairobi, gives you a stroke of good luck going into the rest of the season?
I hope so. For me, this start in this place, it's a good time to check my shape. So I like start here, to start this season in Nairobi. So, like I said, I hope tomorrow will be good throwing for me.
We wish you all the best. Of course, we'll be there to cheer you on. And Yaroslav, thank you for gracing us with your presence. Last time I saw you, you were 15 years old at the Mo International Sports Center, Kasarani. That was in 2017, World Under-18 Championships. And you staged a sizzling display. How is it just coming back to Kenya, a place where you performed very well at the beginning of your career?
Yeah, you know, Kenya is a special place for me, because after your World Championship, I decided that I continue my professional career, and I started preparation for Olympic Games. It was like step to my future, really. And now it's really a pleasure that I come. Thank you for inviting me there, because I'm really looking forward to compete here again, really. And I hope the results will be great because this early start for me. Usually I start at the end of May, but now I feel that I'm in good shape and I'm ready to jump high.
Fantastic. 2 silver medals from the World Championships in the bag for you. Are we expecting gold this year in Budapest?
Yeah, I collected silver medals and my father said to me that you shouldn't collect silver medals, you should start collect gold medals. And you know, of course, I hope really the World Championship is important start for me, it will be third. And of course, I hope the gold medal, but you know, it's sport and every results, every competition, it's experience for you. But I have hopeless for enjoying atmosphere and everything will be good.
All right. Fantastic. The World Championship is in August. We have a Diamond League series that will be going on for the next couple of months. You are Diamond League winner. What should we expect? Should we expect appearance from you this year at the Diamond League?
You know, I expected this year, my season, I expect high jumps, really, really high, because I want to set personal best, really. But now for me, it's more important, you know, mentally, maybe preparation, because the war in my country continue, and for me it's difficult to focus only on high jump, but I hope I will do everything that jumps will be great.
Yeah. You know, talking about the war in Ukraine, and sorry about that, really affected your performance last year. You say that at some point, but this time around you're coming in strong. We hope that you're able to go out there and become the very best version of yourself.
Yeah, you know, last season was very difficult, but last season gave me the personal best, like in Diamond League in Brussels, and I hope this year I will focus on competition because it's my track, really, and I continue fighting for our Ukraine, really, and I show that we continue fighting for our life. And but of course, every person in Ukraine wants that it's finished. But you know, every person in Ukraine thought that it finished last year because every time a lot of families live abroad, separate, and it's very difficult.
Okay, fantastic. All the best at the Keino Classic. Moving on to a legend, John Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Kenya.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back. 1977, 2023. What took you so long? What took you so long to come back?
I've been trying to find Bob for years. Bob has a very clear vision as to how he'd like to develop his work, and we crossed paths, and he felt that I was a good piece for the puzzle. So I'm honored to be here to represent, you know, his program and come back and see so many of my old friends.
All right. Fantastic. John Carlos won gold in the 200 meters at the 1967 Pan American Games, I beg your pardon, and in the 1968 Games in Mexico City. You staged something that has stood the test of time alongside Tommy Smith. Some people in the audience might not know why that is. If you could just break it down for us.
Well, let's start off by saying, man, I think we were way ahead of our time, you know, relative to our social views, as well as our athletic endeavors as well. I mean, we ran fantastic times back at that time, but we felt at that time, man, that social issues was far more important than medals. You know, I mean, everyone would like to win a medal, but at the same time, everyone is not going to win a medal, but so many people are in strife. So should I be concerned socially for the general public? Or should I be concerned about John Carlos, the individual, to win a medal? And I have many medals all through my years in high school. I gave them to the girls because medals never meant anything. What it means to me is to come here, to meet the people, to get the vibes of the people. That's the same thing that took place in Mexico City. I want to get the vibes of the people in the stands, the vibes of the athletes on the field, as well as the vibes of the stadium. Like that stadium tomorrow has a life of its own. And you guys here that's coming to spectate, the individuals that's coming to compete, you're going to fuse that stadium to give that stadium life, give it energy. That's what, you know, competition is all about, to make people be able to leave their misery at home, forget about their problems, to come out and see a good show, feel good about what they saw that day.
All right. Fantastic. There are three key things that stood out that day on that podium. You went on podium barefoot. What was that all about with the bead on your neck? If you could just break it down for us.
Well, no shoes exemplified. There was so many people in the South, even probably today, that was going to school every day, walk 5 miles, 10 miles to and from school, and didn't have shoes. You sit back and you think about America. America is supposed to be the greatest nation in the world. We figure we send a spaceship up and we land a half mile on the moon from where we said we're going to land, but we can't stop poverty. We can't stop rats and roaches and disease. It's a fallacy. So we put the shoes on to let them know that we see what you're doing and we feel that you can do better and you must do better. The beads on my neck exemplified the social issues that we had to be confronted with in America. There were so many individuals that was lynched merely because of the color of their skin. Not because they was a Catholic or they was a Protestant or they was gay or straight, just merely because of the color of their skin. They were lynched. They were held up from going to schools that they'd like to attend. They were held up from living in the areas that they would like to live. They couldn't get medical attention, and many of them couldn't find employment. So, we were concerned about all these social issues. As I stated, we wanted to do something that would be everlasting. As I tell a lot of people in Mexico at that time, what I did was like a mushroom. What a mushroom does, it starts out very small, and then it grows and it grows and it grows. As it's getting taller, people looking at its height, but then it begins to expand. It expanded all the way to Kenya, to Nairobi, it expanded to South Africa, it expanded to India, it expanded around the world. For many people who was in depression or in poverty or in hurting and didn't know how to deal with those issues. So we became like the blueprint or the lighthouse to give them hope.
Fantastic. But this might have affected your life alongside Tommy Smith after that, of course, facing a lot of backlash. How did you deal with that?
Well, there's two factors, man. You have to look at two things. You have the love of your family, and then you have the love of the Creator. It's not about how they're going to come after you, because you're opening the gate to free so many other people. So if you're going to be in pain to do that, I'd rather be in pain to see so many other people with smiles on their face. So the sacrifice that was made was necessary to make.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you to our athletes. I'd like to open the stage now to questions from the audience. Any questions? We have our director, Jen, right here. You could just shoot your hand and she'll be able to provide a mic to you. Robert Chacha from Look Up TV.
Sijui niulize kwa Kiswahili, hapo utatranslate. Omanyala kwako, kushiriki kwa mbio za Botswana na vile vile Afrika Kusini na vile vile sasa unaelekea kwenye Keino, zimekusaidia vipi kuelekea kwenye mbio hizi? Na labda tunajua kwamba mazingira ni tofauti, Botswana na Afrika Kusini, hali ya anga, labda hiyo imechangia vipi, ametachangia vipi kwa ushindi wako ama kwa kushiriki kwenye mbio ambazo zinakuja hapo kesho?
Will you translate or just?
Umesema uelewe?
Bana international. Okay, yeah, I'll answer in English. In South Africa, it was basically more or less like a training camp, and just doing through the races just to get the race sharpness. And for me, I believe in getting to shape as early as possible, just maintaining it instead of like looking for how to run fast. That's more painful than just maintaining it. So the main thing for me was just to maintain it. And about the weather, we are athletes, we travel a lot, and if weather comes down to you, then you're in real trouble, because we change environments. In 2 weeks, you've gone into like 4 different zones. So you have to like make sure your body adapts so fast. I went to Oregon and ran after 2 hours, so that's, that's who I am. So that doesn't really affect me. It's all just about, I'm fit, get the start line. The best thing for me, the main important thing for me is just to get the start line as fresh as possible and look up and see the fans. In Botswana, there was so much love, and I hope we get the same tomorrow in Kenya and make sure that we break this record. Yeah.
All right, I think is that comprehensive, Robert Chacha? Is your question answered? Thank you, affirmative. Ayumba Yodi from the Nation Media Group.
To Omanyala, I'll start with Omanyala. I don't know if I should just fill all the questions or one by one.
I think one by one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. To Omanyala, what is it that you've done differently this year to prepare for Budapest? What is it that you've improved? Because you started with the indoor season up to now, and you look in great shape. So what is it that you've done differently this time around?
Me and my coach, we just maintained the same program. The only thing that changed was a bit of, we made our stats on the blogs to be a bit perfect, changed a bit of things, but sprints is about seconds, so a little bit of some changes make a big difference. So the France really spearheaded my season because I got 3 wins from out of 4, and that really helped me towards the season that's upcoming and that's going on. So yeah, I mean, we never changed much, just that, and just to maintain the positivity that we always have and have that strong mentality to make sure that we get through all these races.
Ayumba Yodi?
Okay. To Makuchi, I know last year you've gone through a lot of difficulties. People at home will be watching you. What are you going to tell them now at the moment? And is there hope for you and your people at home?
Like start of the situation, I always say that I competing for my country really, and I competing for our people because now they read a lot of bad news really, and news of something good like my jumping, like jumping Yulia Levchenko, she will compete in here too, and we want to give them some happiness time, and sometimes me writing to Instagram and our soldiers that we watch your world championship, we watch your competition, and it's a small happiness that we can give them now. And we should do everything on track that depends on us.
All right, Ayumba Yodi.
And to the legendary former sprinter, Carlos, as you sit there, is there something that stands out in your athletics career that you would say, this is it? Is it possible for you to share with us?
Well, the only thing that stands out is that these young individuals, such as this young man here, I wish 55 years ago he'd have been on the track with me. I'd have been on the track with him because, you asked him in the beginning, was he cocky? My attitude about track is the same as his attitude. It's not about being cocky, it's about being assured of yourself, to motivate yourself. Yes, to motivate yourself, to invigorate yourself to go out there and say, my job is to be the best that I can be, not for my audience at that particular time, but for me, I have to prove something to me. And by me speaking about what I anticipate doing, other people might look at it and say, it's a cocky attitude. It's not a cocky attitude. It's the desire to win. It's a desire to feed your mind and your soul about what you anticipate doing. When he goes out and break that world record, everybody's going to be excited. Oh, my God, look what he did. But if you go back and he look on his mirror, he probably put it on his mirror 6 months before when he was going to run. It's just a matter of him actually putting it down. And remember at the same time, young individual athletes, we are still in the hands of the officials. Like for instance, when I ran in my day, to your question, I broke a lot of records, but I never got credit for the records based on who I was, based on what I was saying. For instance, if I ran 100 meters in Fresno, California, and they would give me 9.1, which at that time was a world record. Everyone behind me, they give a blanket 9.3. But the difference is I'm 10 yards in front of everybody. How is 10 yards equivalent to 0.2 of a second? Then when you confront them about it, they throw their hands, well, I'm not the head timer. So these are issues that you have to deal with in my day. Today, I think they're thirsting for records, and this young man and others will be out there to set the record straight and let them know we are the best in the world. I just feel sorry that I missed their era. I would love to run against these guys.
Fantastic.
And to the big man, That seat seems small for you. They should have given you a bigger one. Now, this year, is there something that you want to achieve that you've never achieved? Because you have the world, the Olympic titles, world titles. What else do you want to achieve?
What can I say? I want to win gold medal at World Championship because it missing my collection. I have silver medal, bronze medals, gold medals, Olympic and European Championship, but I miss gold medal. And I try to do this this year. We'll see what happened on August. I would like to be in a very good shape and try to compete with my opponents and do my best.
All the best. And all the best to everyone.
Thank you.
Manyala, Makuchi, and Carlos.
Asante.
Enjoy your stay in Kenya again.
Thank you very much.
All right, fantastic. We have a question, right?
My question
If
goes.
you could just move forward so that they see who is speaking. Fantastic.
My name is John Vaslin from Athletics News. My question goes to Omanyala. Omanyala, you are one man who works good or at your best when you're under pressure. But from the look of things on the start list that we have, do you think you'll achieve what you're telling us now? Thank you.
You know, I don't look at competitors when I go to my competition, and everybody who comes to that start line, I respect that. Because anybody who steps on those blocks is a very courageous athlete. So tomorrow, not looking at competitors, we are competing against the time. And of course, they win because we're at home. So yeah, there's competition. I believe everybody in that start line from lane 1 to lane 8 is a good competitor. And, you know, like pressure I said, there's pressure coming out of this, you know. Like people are looking forward to that. And that for me, I thrive in that. And that's what I want.
John, is that comprehensive? Fantastic. We have a question right at the back. Just step forward so that we... Fantastic. The microphone is right there.
Hi, good morning. Hello, good morning, everyone. So my question goes to the field athletes. We've always...
Just begin by introducing yourself, your name,
myself.
and where your media house you represent.
My name is Motweri Mutwata, CGTN Africa. So my question goes to the field athletes. Last year at the World Championships in Oregon, we witnessed very good competitions in the field finals. And we've started seeing some sort of revolution where the field events are competing with the track. Why is this happening in this particular age in time, where we are seeing very good competitions in the jumps, the throws, and the margins of victories are becoming slimmer?
All right, who is your question directed to, or all of them?
We can start with gentlemen, and then Gertrude.
So, Wojciechowski?
Yeah.
All right.
I think our scores improved because you know, it's young guys come to throwing field, and for me I think it's good because I'm older. I'm 34 years old, so for me it's better to improve my score and throw better. Don't give up and try to compete with the young guys. So that the scores is higher. So for me it's good to improve myself and always be better.
All right, I believe the same question is directed to you, Yaroslava.
Yes, we have in high jump we have a really strong company from Ukraine, really, and every time we compete with them because we have a small European championship, really, and you know, it's really interesting to compete every time to do best from yourself, really, and it's with good company it's more interesting because you have adrenaline extreme and you want to jump higher and higher.
All right, is that okay? Fantastic. Any other question? Right here. Jen. Oh, there's another. Okay, we'll take that and then come to you.
Hi, Manjala. My name is Dennis Okio from Standard Media Group. And there's a general concern, especially from your fans in Nigeria, Botswana, and South Africa, that so far you've ran 16 races, that's 8 out indoors, and another 8 outdoors, and still you have more heading to Diamond League's legs. Don't you think, alongside your management, that you will out-sprint yourself before Budapest 2023?
I was praying for this. I mean, like, when I started athletics, I was praying to get chances to compete. Previously, we never had these chances to compete. And now I have the chances to compete. Last year, I won the Commonwealth Games in August. And I was running fast in February. So I don't think that affects me. It's just my coach and my management to just make sure that I get. This year, we're looking forward to get very high-end races because that's what I want. That's what makes me go and run fast. So that's why we're getting to, like, we've already done 1 gold tour. We're doing another one tomorrow. And then I'll go to the Diamond League. I believe after the 3 Diamond Leagues, I'll just take a 1-month break and now wait for the Budapest World Championships. But either way, I can compete every day.
It's the cockiness for me, or is it the confidence? I don't know what to call it. But it's good, it's very attractive to be as confident as he is. Fantastic. Omondi Onyata?
Yes, good morning everyone, or is it good morning everyone? Yes, my name is Omondi Onyata from Capital FM. I just have 2 questions to the legend John Carlos. I'm just intrigued, and now that Yaroslava is here and she was talking about the situation back home, what was going through your mind at that moment that you're on the podium and putting up the Black Power sign? Were you afraid? What were the emotions in your mind? Were you afraid? Were you courageous? Were you did you have this I don't care attitude, let them do what they want to do to me? And then the second question, what would be your advice to athletes, especially in Africa, where many sports people are scared to maybe speak out on societal issues or political issues for fear of falling afoul of the government of the day? What would be your advice to such athletes who would really want to speak out on these issues but are somehow afraid of those who are in power?
Good questions. First question, was I afraid? No fear whatsoever, brother. None then, none now, and none tomorrow. Okay? If you was to ever look at that portrait, and you look at me in that portrait, you would think I was just sitting in the park having lunch. I was so relaxed. My attitude was, when the races were over, now I could do what I came here to do. I didn't come here to win the medals. I could have won the gold medal. The medal wasn't important, other than the fact that I had to win 1 of the 3 in order for me to get on the victory stand and make the statement that I felt was necessary. I was going to stay home from the games. Remember, we called for a boycott. I was going to stay home, but the power of the V in this universe came to my mind and said, John, you know, you can stay home. But the question is, when someone replaces you and get on the victory stand, whether you're going to be represented the way you feel you need to be represented. Then I was compelled to go to the Olympic trials. I broke the world record. One more time, they told me the shoes did the running. I didn't do the running. Okay? So, no, I was not fearful for making the statement. It was necessary to make. I felt good that God blessed me and gave me the opportunity to be there to make that statement. Now, to your next question. What was your next question?
Sorry about that. My next question was, what advice would you give to today's athletes, especially in Africa, where many of them are afraid to speak out on societal or political issues for fear of falling in trouble with the government of the day?
Well, man, you have to be concerned about what your convictions are. You know, I mean, we sit back, we think about religion and all the stuff they taught us about Christianity or what have you. They talk about the guy that was nailed to the cross. I mean, he knew what was coming, but he was willing to sacrifice himself to make things better. If you're committed, you don't worry about what they might do to you, because they're not going to do it to everyone. And when they take you down, that makes you raise up even higher to the point where people want to commit themselves as you did to make change for the better. You can't run for fair for the fact that, oh, they might not like me. Many people didn't like John Carlos. Up to this day, many people don't like John Carlos. But everyone respects John Carlos. If he was to do something in this nation or any other nation, the people will show their love for you because they understand what you're doing. And eventually the government will turn around as well and pay that homage and respect that you deserve. So no fear, no harm, no fear. Do what you need to do. But make sure when you do make a statement that you have researched and studied and understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So when they come to you and put that microphone in your face, you can expound upon the necessities of that statement. Why it was necessary. How many people are you trying to reach with it? What did you accomplish by it? You need to answer these questions. And you need to know in your mind and in your heart what you stand for. All right? I hope I answered your question.
That was comprehensive, I hope. Fantastic. Elias Makori from Nation Media Group, to my far right.
Thank you. Question to John. Enough respect for what you've done. And also I'll have another one for Yaroslava. John, back in the day, which Kenyan athletes inspired you? And now that you've just come in, who would you like to meet? And you know, the folks from back in the day from Kenya, how did they motivate you and who would you like to meet?
Well, you know, the guy that I was really bonded with, I mean, Kip is my man, but Kip was like on the more conservative side. The guy that I fell in love with and would look forward to seeing when I came back was Ben Zipko. And I understand that God called him 2 years ago. But that's the guy that I was impressed with because Ben was always loose. He was always pleasant. He was always driving ahead. At the same time, he said, as well as my social standard, I'm just as equal in the athletic field. He was intrigued about setting an example for the young individuals coming behind him. So that's my attitude all the time. And when they took the records away from me, my attitude was, man, forget about the records. Go and give the people that paid their money to come into the stadium a good show for the money. That's what I think Bob is anticipating doing with his competitions, to make the people that come to the stands feel good about that competition, that these athletes came out. Word to the wise to this young fella here, they talking about who is his main competition. His main competition is the same as mine, and that's the stopwatch. I don't care who's on the line. If I want to win, I'm running against the clock. I'm not running against any one individual. Because if I keyed on one individual, like for instance, Larry James and Lee Evans at the national championship. Larry keyed on Lee, Lee keyed on Larry. They're looking at one another. Here come a guy come out in lane 8, beat both of them because they so busy watching one another opposed to running against the clock. So for all you young individuals that out there listening, if you're a sprinter, remember, you're running against time, not an individual. They will get sucked up in time and they exhaust. All right?
So Ferdinand, you're lucky you came a few years later. He would have given you a run for your money. Yaroslava, you're very young, and what is happening in Ukraine? You've been able to still compete and win medals. We saw it in Belgrade in the indoors. Tell us about your life. Where do you live now? Where do you train? Where's the rest of your family?
Yeah, now I'm based in Belgium, in Houston, Zolden. Thank you, Golazo Allianz. They help us, really. And today, my mother and my sister come back to Ukraine, to my father and to husband, and we keep in touch. And I'm so excited because every night my mom write me that we hear explosions, and so exciting, and I think, Mom, okay, calm down, please. And you know, now it's our lives, really. But you know, it's not. It hasn't changed nothing since 24th of February because the wars continue, the killings of Ukrainian people continue, and a lot of Russian missiles, rocket missiles, it continue for civilians. Really, because the start of my season, indoor season, when I competed in Lviv, it was a big tragedy in my city because Russian exploded rocket for civilians' house. And you know, I have friends and relatives in this house who's died, and I have our sports school director. He was in this house and died, and for me it's really difficult to talk and think about this. But I know that Ukrainian people are strong, really. They continue to do everything that can do. They collect money for our army, help people who don't have house, really. And in our group now training a girl, Marina Kovtunova. She's from Mariupol, and she sit in basement for 8 days without connection, and after when she go outside of Mariupol, Russians is shooting by the car, and it's miracle that she's alive. And I think Russian broke a lot of lives, really, Ukrainian lives. But I know that it's finished sometime, really, and we will do everything that is finished as soon as possible. And I want to say thank you, European countries that helps us, Ukrainian. Thank you so much.
All right, fantastic. Any other question? Eric Ochieng from Standard, you usually have a question, don't you? Fantastic. I think I have to ask this to Yaroslava. 1.92 meters at 15 years old here, 2017, which is the highest in the history of the competition so far. You coming back, are we hoping for another record?
I hope for good results for 2 meters. I hope, but it's early start, and it's really like it's test for the season. But I know that I'm in good shape, and I want to improve my results. And I know that atmosphere on this stadium will be incredible, really incredible support from people. And I will enjoy the atmosphere and will do best of mine. Yeah, that jumps high.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. There's a question right there from Robert. Sound engineers, just make sure his sound is on point.
All right, thanks. My question goes to Nowiki. Right now, you say there are more athletes coming in, younger ones, and now you're perhaps in the latter phase, but you're still very strong. What are some of the preparations that you're doing to make sure you're still at the top level?
I try to do the same training every year. We mostly focus on technique to improve some elements that don't work last few years. And this is my point of work, and I try to improve this in my technique, because physically shape is always good when you train every day and try to do the best in, for example, in gym or hardless like I do. So the most changes, like always, in technique, because it's a lot of work with technique. It always to make something better. So I try to improve this way to stay on this level like I'm here now.
All the best tomorrow. Question to Fadi. Right now you're in peak physical form and you're having something good going on. Do you feel maintaining this cool psychological edge is the last piece of the jigsaw to make sure you cement your place out there?
The main thing is just to be what you are, and just don't be someone else. Just be you. And for me, I thank God for my mental strength, because that's what has been carrying me all through. And for me, I believe I get to that line, and I've beaten you psychologically. You're not going to beat me. That's what it is. So that's what we're working on. But just to maintain it, my coach is doing a great thing. So looking for the world champs in Budapest. Yeah.
All right, I saw a hand right here.
My name is Willie Wex from IOX Media. My question will go to Fadi. How are you doing, sir? There's what you're doing, maybe some people may not know with regard to upcoming athletes. I'll wish that you just give it some presence so that at least it goes global beyond the confines of people who know it with the achievers. I'll just wish you to share on that.
Yeah, I believe I'm not going to be here forever. And I always say this, that I want to leave a gap in this country where that after 10 years, people will become and say that we had a sprinter. I want every year, at least, to get someone coming up. And I want Kenya to be an industry of sprints. I don't want to live and just go with the wave. So that's why we started Sprint Achievers. It's a registered company, and we're hoping that we get support from corporates, even the government, if they're willing to. Just come and support this initiative, because my plan, my main plan is to have a camp, a very good sprint camp in Kenya, so that people from all over the world can come and train, and of course Kenyans also can come and train, because I believe we have so many talent in this country. We are very good in Kenya Sevens. Kenya Sevens are basically sprinters. So that means we have the talent and the grassroots level, and I pray that people will come out and support the Sprint Achievers dream and vision. My main dream was to get a big sports complex that will host these sprinters, and at the long run, if this gig, we're hoping to get them when they're young ages, because I started at 20. I hope that we get people who can start at 10 or even 12, and then just develop them. By the time they get to 18, they can choose what to do, either go to college or turn pro. So that's my main goal. But I don't want sprints to end with me. I want it to continue and continue and continue. And I believe in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have so many sprinters coming out because they've seen that it can be done. The only thing that was blocking us is the mind ceiling. You know, once you put your mind ceiling on yourself, even if you work so hard, you cannot achieve. That's why I tell people, believe in what you're going to do. I believe I'm going to break the world record at some point. That's what I believe in, and that's something that I know it's happening. And many a times I've been speaking and it's been happening, so I believe once you have that in mind, and of course, put God first in everything, so that gives you the great health and the great mindset and the great people around you, all these things will be possible.
All right, and you've played rugby?
Yeah, I did play rugby before.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Right over, I head over to Elias Makori. You have something for us?
Yeah, because our time is up, just to wind up, it will be good to get 1 minute from the host, the president of Athletics Kenya, just to wind up the press conference so that the athletes can also take a break. Mr. President, perhaps you could say one word just to welcome the athletes and wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I would like to take this opportunity to, first of all, welcome all the athletes from every part of the world who accepted our invitation to come and compete here. It's really great. As we said, this is the 4th time that we are hosting the Keino Classic, and it's been growing every year. And it's only you who made it grow, not ourselves. We only organize and we ask you to come and support us, and you have supported this event. So welcome, feel at home. I hope you are all comfortable. We feel sorry for Shirley and Fraser for what happened. And we really wish that she was here. We saw her running last year, and we want to thank her for what she has done. And I think the report that she has written to apologize, we accept it, and we say sorry for that. For our visitors, John Carlos, and I see our friend for Andy Young here as well. Maybe you need to stand, people to see you. You know, world record holder also from United States. Former world record.
Sorry.
Do you want to say something?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Kenyan athletes. Over the years, since I've been an athlete. They've always been some of the most prominent athletes I've ever seen in my life, and been an inspiration to me for over the years, especially Kip Keino, John Carlos. That 68 Olympic Games was the one that permeated on my heart when I was not even 3 years old. I was only 2 years old when 68 came. But really looking at the history of the athletes there gave me the impression that one of these days I can be able to be a great athlete. And sure enough, that came to fruition. And now I'm actually here in an opportunity to come here to Kenya. And I definitely want to say thank you to the organization. Thanks to Galazzo, Mr. Bob Vierbek, for inviting me here. And first and foremost, thank the athletes. And now I'm a huge fan of Omanyala. I've always been a fan of yours, always. But it's just that smile that he keeps on his face when he participates. And it's definitely not cockiness, it's definitely confidence. And I really appreciate that. And I really like the tone that he sets, because I remember I was in this position running, trying to reach a sub 47-second time in the hurdles. And I had to tell folks that I was going to break Edwin Moses' world record. And people told me time and time again that I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I did it on the greatest stage of my life in Barcelona, Spain in '92. And I'm glad I was able to be the individual to kind of break that foothold on the hurdles. Now you got young men running sub 47 races all the time. So thank you for keeping that energy out there like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he mentioned Andy Young, which a great individual, but of course Kevin Young, and I'm sure Andy and I are probably related somewhere down the line. Thank you very much. Oh, no.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, finally, I would like to thank the director of this event and all the members of the local organizing committee. I want to thank Bob here and your team for supporting us. I want to thank NTV for this opportunity. Let us all have a great day tomorrow. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Asante sana. Let me just hold that for you. All right, there you have it, folks. That brings this to a conclusion. Thank you very much for attending the 2023 ABSA Keino Classic Athletes Press Conference. The main action is tomorrow at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Remember, entrance is free and it's on a Saturday, so make your way to Kasarani, support these athletes. Omanyala will be competing tomorrow, so we hope to see you there at the same time. If you can make it to Kasarani, remember, NTV brings you all the action up close and personal right to your living room. For now, stay tuned because the Mikiki is coming up with Joshua Makori.